Hey, it's Amy Thomson here, and I am here today channeling specifically what will make a difference for you and your sales. All right. So I have this wonderful deck here, some more sales cards. Now, I bet most people don't use these for channeled readings. These are the most amazing objection handling cards. They're actually by my mentor, Dan Locke. All right. But they also are surprisingly accurate when you're a channeler. What's really cool is when you can channel, you can pretty much channel with anything. At least a lot of people can. So anyways, what I'm going to do is I'm going to look at what's happening with your sales and how you can really make a difference in your sales and your marketing. Okay, something to do with your marketing is going to be coming up in this as well. My name is Amy Thomson. I'm a spiritual intuitive business strategist and healing artist. And I've got another channel called The Aligned Leader as well. So that's everything to do with becoming who you are and really aligned in your life, loving your life, and having the success that you want too, right? So anyways, that's where we all hang out as executive misfit. Hey, I have for you the first reading. Oh my goodness, you have had quite the difficulty with your sales lately. All right, the first card that came out is the Ten of Wands. Ten of Wands is like difficulty and burdens and like carrying a heavy weight. It's like, you know, those things where you're trying to climb a mountain and you keep kind of coming back down, and you try to go up and you keep sliding down, and then you realize that you've just got so many rocks that your weight is so hard to even get up to the top, let alone being able to coast down, right? So yeah, you got, oh my goodness, you then have the Nine of Swords, right? And you have the Knight of Swords right after. Okay, so here's what I'm getting for you. You don't have to be so forceful and determined. I think that what happened is because you have so many things that are there's so many pressing things, so many energies and demands, and it's like you feel kind of like the weight of the world. If this is not you, you might want to watch another video. But if this is you, like, let's look at your sales and what's going on. Now, you also got the Page of Wands, the High Priest, the Moon, the Knight of Cups, and the Devil in inverse. So the Moon is at the very bottom of the Nine of Swords, and the High Priest is under the Ten of Wands. Okay, so very fast advice. You have a mentor who knows what they're doing. If you don't have a mentor, find a mentor who knows what they're doing. The message is to follow them, but also like not allow yourself to be so caught up in your emotions, right? Your emotions have ruled a lot of the things that are going on because you've lived negative experiences before. You may have experienced debt, poverty. You may have experienced lack. You may have lost some things. It could be even losing relationships because of money. There's something to do with loss because of money or losing money, right? So whatever it is, there's an expectation that's been created because of the circumstance you're in. Now, you may not have like incredibly terrible money right now, but you might. What I'm saying is this reading says that you've had a lot of difficulties. You know, you could have a lot of things outstanding. You could be waiting for a lot of money to come in that's not even coming in. And it could feel like, oh, all of these pressures and all of these demands, and oh my God, there's just so much, right? It could feel like that. Pardon me, I get a little dramatic sometimes. But it's like your natural wanting to just jump in and save the day and make things happen and make things work. That kind of energy is actually not being effective right now. Okay. It is some time right now where you're going to be transforming this negative energy. I got that with the Devil in inverse there. But also you've got this one here. Okay. I don't know if you can see that okay, but it's the Page of Wands. And in this picture, there's somebody and they're holding a, it looks kind of like a wand or a sword. Like it's not like a fencing one or something. I can't tell. Maybe it's a cane. But they're holding that and they're staring down at the ground by a bench. Okay, in the background, there's like clouds or smoke or whatever, and it looks like a nice place, but they're staring right down at the bottom as if they've got a lot of stuff on their mind. All right. Now, again, this is someone who is, it's like that reflection time is needed, right? So the message for you is like, actually, like, step back, take some time, reflect, right? You may feel like you don't have time. And the message is like, you have the exact opposite of that. It's like, in this moment, step back, take some time to really just look, get connected with that inner self, and also find out, yeah, the coming from action is not where you need to be right now. Okay, coming from action, because that's what you want to do. It you want to just jump in and save the day. But the thing is you're too emotional for that right now. So it's really like, take the time to tune out, not by distracting yourself. It's very important you don't have just media or various things playing. This is for you to be grounded. The message is for you to be grounded. This person in this picture is actually staring at the ground, but what it's doing is it's like centering self, getting back connected with the ideas, the intuition. Intuition is very key for you here, right? Because you're focused on the wrong things. Now, couple things that you got. Yeah, again, you got the Knight of Swords, right? You got two Knights of Swords upright. Okay, forceful, determined. Let me tell you what it says. I've got this thing in front of me as well. Of course, now I can't see it. Yeah, forceful, determined, ambitiousness, action-oriented, driven to succeed, fast thinking. Except for at the very bottom of that, you've got the Devil. It's in inverse, and you've got the King of Swords as well, upright to the right. So fair, analytical, mental clarity, intellectual power, authority, and truth. Okay. So what's going to happen is it's not going to take you a long time. Okay. But if you go right from the one thing to the other and just like, I'm going to do this, I'm going to make it happen, it's a lot of like it's adrenaline. You're going to be like using that stress in a positive way. However, there's something to do with you taking it. Could only be even a few minutes or a short meditation or something, but try to do it outside if possible. Try to connect with the earth, because what's going to happen is you're going to be able to ground your energy in a very solid way. And then whatever it was that your mentor said that you think is the right action, that's when you're going to jump into action. But again, trust your intuition. Very important. Inside of this, we've got, so you've got the 10 of Wands, and underneath it is the High Priest. And the High Priest in this one, just because of the finger positioning, it looks like he's pointing up. Okay, I know that he's got the two fingers beside each other, right? But in this instant, it can't, like it's pointing to the card, but beyond that, it's like in the vision or in the picture of the 10 of Wands, the guy's carrying all of his wands and his burdens and whatnot, and he's going towards this castle. And this castle is up high, it's far away. It looks like he's got to go across a lot of treacherous lands. All right. So the message I'm getting for you is like he's pointing to the, the vision that he's got to go for, right? But he's also pointing to the difficulties, right? So it's for you not to neglect the difficulties. I'm gonna And then you got the Empress in inverse. Again, trusting your intuition. And then taking action from a place of aligned intuition. So what's going to happen is you're going to have several things align. You're going to have the physical align and the emotional align. Yeah. Again, you got the Four of Swords pointing upright and to the right. It really is a time for you to like take some time and have some clarity. Okay. You got the Ace of Wands to the left. You got the Ace of Cups to the right. You got the Four of Wands to the left, and you've got the Three of Wands upright. Okay. So with this, you're going to be very inspired. You're going to be getting some kind of intuitive gift, some intuitive insight. You're going to be very inspired to move forward, and you do have good energy when it comes to being forceful and determined. You can rely on that. You don't need to worry that you're going to lose momentum in that regard. You have what it takes, and you have what it takes, but you're a little bit fearful based on what's happened previously. All right. Now there's going to be, so the inspiration happened previously, and then you lost it. Big deal. You lost momentum. You had some things that didn't work, right? And I don't mean to be like downplaying what you've been going through, because you have had a lot of difficulties. That is not fake at all. But yeah, you've been, I got these. So the Page of Wands and the Three of Wands, one right above the other. Okay. So one of them is like, when you're taking that time, you need to really get into the vision for the future, but not in a far away thing. Okay. Here's what you need to do. You need to envision the future where you already have what you want, but like 3 months, 6 months down the line. Because it's like, think about it in terms of, give you an exercise, okay? Think of something that happened yesterday. For example, I picked my daughter up from work yesterday. Now, whatever it is that you thought of you did yesterday, now think about the feeling that you had. Like, because it's already done, right? Now, is there stress and anxiety or worry or anything about that? No. Yeah, even if I was rushing from one appointment to get my daughter and I felt like, oh, I needed to get there, at the time there may have been that a little bit. But the thing is now looking back, I don't have any emotion. You know, it's just something that happened. So for you, when you take that time and you're really like connecting with, like it's to get grounded, but think about your vision as if you've already had it for like a few months. You know, it's like yesterday's news. It takes the charge out of having to have it now. There's a different feeling because where there's resistance, it's hard for things to come to you. And because of the difficulties and the blockages and the burdens that you've had, things have been having a hard time coming to you. Okay. So you got, I have to think about it. Funny, I was just telling you that. You got to think about it. Take a little bit of time, really ground yourself, and actually think about it. Couple things. These came up. Is that your lowest price? I got that up right to the right. And the more sales cards you play, the more sales you'll make. Same thing, the more sales calls you make, the more sales you'll make. All right, so this is telling me that you haven't necessarily been making the calls or you haven't been following the things you know to do. Okay, you might have been making calls, but maybe you get sidetracked in conversations, or maybe you haven't been setting your intention clearly beforehand, or maybe you haven't been following up. But there's something to do with the more you take the right actions, the more sales you're going to make. You know, I need to look at my finances. This is one of the things that actually been keeping you stuck. Okay, you looking at your finances. You need to trust. You need to trust that your finances are going to be there. They're going to show up no matter how they've been. Okay, because as you look at what's going on, it's been putting you into a place of lack mentality. I'm not saying put a bag over your head and ignore like everything, put blinders on. Well, in a sense, I am telling you to put blinders on. It's like focus on where you want to go instead of what's happening right now. My mentor has an expression. He says, don't confuse me with the facts. Okay. So if your finances are not where they want to be and your sales are not where you want them to be, you can look at them, but don't let that confuse your emotions. Don't let that confuse your action. Don't let that confuse your thinking to have you thinking any less than you are, right? You are more powerful and you are more together and you have more going for you than what you've allowed yourself to believe. Because if you got stuck on, hey, these things aren't working, sometimes we can internalize that and we can make it all about ourselves, right? Sometimes it feels like, like I talk to people of all ranges, right? And so it doesn't matter if you're not making a lot or if you've made huge sums of money. It still hurts. Like you could have $1 billion and you could lose $1 billion and two, right? And then it's like, oh my God, right? What does this mean? You could have like, it doesn't matter where you are on the spectrum of financial well-being. It hurts. And it doesn't have to mean anything about you, right? It doesn't have to mean anything about you. It's just there's a plan that didn't work, or there's actions that led to this. There was thinking that led to this. So your task is for you to take some time. I would suggest getting grounded in nature. If you can find anywhere with nature or even recreate the nature sounds or feelings where you're at and connect with those kind of like frequencies and clear your mind. and then come to the vision as a future fulfilled. You're already there. You already live it. Okay. And then here's, I need to speak to some of your real life clients first before making a decision. And maybe you're putting out a new product and you don't have clients yet. Or maybe you're pivoting and you're going into something else. Or maybe you're even going for a job and you want to get a job, but you don't actually have that exact experience. You have relatable stuff. But again, don't let that hold you back, right? What you see externally now is a creation of the past. Anything right now is a creation of your future. So if you're looking at right now and you're thinking this is what you're creating now, that's not true. You're creating your future now, right? So take out your thinking about what does work and doesn't work, what you think you should look like, or how you come across. It's like all of those things are barriers for you just being connected and you being with you. All right. So I'm going to read two more. I'm not interested. It's perfect. This is one of the things that you really need to do, because there's the message I'm getting for you is that there are some things that you don't want to do. And that's one of the reasons that's caused you these difficulties. There's things you don't want to do. Don't make yourself wrong for it. Recognize that that's happening. Okay. And when you take that time to be with your emotions, be with your feelings, be with your thoughts, get that grounded clarity, the ideas are going to come to you for what you do want to do that will make things work. Okay. Because there are ways that we can operate, but we can only operate like that for so long, because we all have a natural kind of ebb and flow, right? So what's going to happen is when you're taking this time, there's going to be something that comes in and it's going to be like, oh, I get it. That's my natural rhythm. That's my natural ebb and flow. Here's what, here's what will work for me. This will work for me. And if you have some kind of shortcomings, allow the universe to fill that in. Okay. And I'm speaking very like universally, because things can happen in an instant when there's no resistance to it. Like, really, right now you've been coming from I need to make this happen. I need to make this work. I'm fearful of this. How much stuff do you think you're going to get when you're in an energy like that? Or if you're focused on my problems, my challenges and stuff like that, how much love and support and gifts and money and, stability and all of that comes from that, comes to that? Not a lot. Like, there's how those who have it get more and those who don't have it gets taken away, like that whole universal spiritual law. So that's what's been happening. And you've been seeing the lack, and therefore what you're seeing has been, this is where your focus is. Where your focus goes, energy flows. So you've been creating more of that lack and more of that scarcity. And so it's not a surprise that you're stressed out and you're feeling the way that you are. Your last message is, I have to think about it. Again, that goes back to yes, actually, you do have to think about it. Stop trying to control everything so much, right? Allow the co-creation of the universe. Allow the co-creation with other people. But the thing is you've got to come back to like that grounded centeredness, so that you're like, all right, this is me. This feels good. There's probably going to be products or ideas or things that you want to get rid of. And I would highly suggest doing that. Going through, doing an inventory, like, this feels right. This does not feel right. This is good. This is not. A lot of times people will get into business specifically to make the money. Well, that's great in one sense, right? Over time, they often get very frustrated, right? Because they're living something that's not fulfilling to them. Now, other times people want to go for something that's very fulfilling, but they don't necessarily know how to make the money. And then because of that, they're struggling, right? I call these people executive misfits. There's so many different types of executive misfits, but really what it is like, you're driven, you're ambitious, and you're capable of more, whether that's monetary or otherwise, right? That you've got this vision of this life you want to have, and for some reason the pieces aren't clicking, right? That's an executive misfit. So if you want to learn about aligned leadership and how to really have yourself be in alignment, check out my aligned leader channel. Sorry, I don't know why I just gapped there, but it's the home for executive misfits. Check that out on YouTube. And also let me know where I can help you. Like, I actually have some sales training programs. And what I found is many of them didn't have a consistency. Like, they've got, they'll have a training course, and some of them will have coaches, accountability partners, things like that, which are all amazing, and a curriculum. But what I found was missing was the regular accountability and the sessions and the practice, right? So I have the Sales Confidence Machine. If you do need some support with that, you can check it out in the description box below. And it is something where we do have a program, but I myself coach in the high ticket sales, and I do a lot with mindset and leadership training, a lot with breaking barriers and mindset, and also the knowing where to focus each day, right? So you've got an accountability partner. I do use some AI to help people who may not be able to work on my schedule. And so, yeah, we're building that out. We've got a team of people, small team right now, but we're looking to build our community and really support more people, because I don't know if you noticed this, but the gap between the people who have money and the people who don't is getting much wider. So if I can help more people with their financial well-being, we can change the world. It's not just financial, it's spiritual. It's like material and spiritual fulfillment. So that's what I'm up to. Thank you for watching. I hope you got something good out of this. I'm getting called to draw one more card, one more message for you. Stick around. Oh yeah, if you can like and subscribe, that would be amazing. Or even just drop a comment and let me know your thoughts. This was so cool. This one flipped out and it flipped around. So this one here is the Four of Pentacles. Now, in this, okay, it started like this, but it literally flipped right up into my hand. Okay, so there's something to do with controlling your level of greed and possession. Okay, so there may be some kind of subconscious blocks and stories about how much you should or could receive. You know, there's like a back and forth conversation about, you know, whether it's self-protection or whether it's greed. And this could be something that's very deeply internally in your psyche. Like, I had a workshop a couple weeks ago, and it was all about money and really changing the subconscious patterns within people around their money. And it's not until you really start doing the looking that you're like, holy crap, I had no idea that this was there. And people usually don't shift overnight. It's like you can have some shifts, but what happens is that we have these contradictory thoughts inside of our mind. And then we go and we try to do things like affirmations, and we try to shift everything, or we'll take training. But the thing is, those things in our subconscious are still there. They're still at the base of it. And so what I teach people is to have, like, when you come up with your affirmations, find something that is at least 80% relatable to you, and test it in your body to see whether or not it feels like every word has a feeling associated. It's called a vibrational signature. So if I say, I'm just going to give you an example. If I say 7 unrelated words right now, like I'm going to say toothbrush, finances, hardcore, shopping mall, Disney, exaggerate, beautiful, Sarah, raccoon. I said 8. I said 9. Anyways, doesn't matter how many I said. But regardless, it's like every one of those things is going to have something specific to you based on your experiences, where it will give you a thought or an idea or an image or a feeling in your body. And so certain words and certain affirmations and things really work backwards for people instead of forwards. Sometimes it really points to the lack of something or the discomfort with something. So I let people know the best way that I've seen and I've helped people with is find an affirmation that's at least 80% believable, and then test it with your body. And if it doesn't feel like something that would pull you towards it, then it's not quite there yet. And then change the wording a little bit, right? But in that workshop, people were just blown away because for the first time they could see what was actually holding them back. And I don't have them try to do everything all at once. It's like, take 3 affirmations that are at least 80% available, or at least 80% believable to you, And I have a goal card. You know, you put your objective, your goal, and then I've got I'll show you one day. Anyways, I've got a goal card, and on that you write the 3 for the week. Right? I've got a dry erase thing that I set up. It's really cool, a little booklet that I keep in my pocket. But anyways, this one here is there's contradictory thoughts around how you are with security, right? It's specifically like in this picture, for example, there's a bride and she's like got this man. She's bridezilla, so she's huge and she's got this man and she's holding him up like this, right? And it could be like she's pulling him up or she could drop him, but regardless, it's about controlling resources and controlling finances. And so you have contradictory thoughts either about how much you can have or how much you can hold, how much you can give, how much you can take, right? So there's something to do with that you're going to need to clear. And the affirmations will be good for that. So find 3 affirmations to help you clear that. I'm giving you homework, by the way. Okay. So one would be take some time so that you can get grounded. Drop anything that doesn't work, that doesn't feel like it resonates with who you are now and what you want. Take what does resonate, that feels right, and use that to make sales. Set some kind of goal, set some kind of structure. You already have forceful determination. You got that twice. Okay? So you will have the motivation when things click for you. And let go of all the things that aren't working because they don't work. But there's some kind of mental block, some kind of mental contradiction that is at the base of everything you're dealing with. And if you can find that, it's going to be like a kingpin. It's going to be something that like knocks other things over. So do a little bit of looking, find out what the false belief is. Find 3 of them, 3 false beliefs, and then come up with an affirmation that is at least 80% believable. Write it down, keep those in your pocket, and then go do what you got to do. Okay? And if you have any fears, doubts, or concerns, then sign up for the Sales Confidence Machine. There's a 2-week free trial as well. So I can put that in the chat, like in the description box below anyways. And then maybe I'll see you. Maybe I will personally get to coach you. That would be really fun, right? Anyways, I'll talk to you soon.